Hi guys, hope you're doing really well. I've got what I hope is a really useful lesson for you today. All of those riffs, all those famous riffs that you've heard of before, they come from one scale. It's called the minor pentatonic scale. And this is what it is. Not all of those riffs were in that key. I just put everything into one key just to sort of illustrate the point. By learning this, you're going to memorize songs much more easily because you'll fall into patterns that will be really useful for when you got a gig or something and you've got a number of songs to learn. Plus, you'll be able to come up with your own thing once you can sort of link a sound to certain riffs that you like. So let's just go into what the minor pentatonic scale is. So I'm starting on the 5th fret of the E string, that's A. I'm doing A minor pentatonic. That's one octave. It contains a root, a flat third, which can be played in two different ways. You should learn both. Then it's got a 4th and a 5th. The P stands for perfect. Perfect 4th, perfect 5th. You can just say 4th and 5th. And these patterns from the root are always the same as well. So if you go up the octave or 12th fret of the A string, it's going to be the same pattern. Then we've got a flat 7. And that's 5 notes. That's why it's called the pentatonic scale, right? Then the octave. And just even playing it up and down, it sounds really, really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through very quickly each riff and just show you how it's constructed, and hopefully that'll give you some ideas. So Give It Away is in A minor. So starting on the A, 5th fret, and I'm sliding up. Flea was sliding up. See that little portion there? Starting from the 12th fret of the A string. So you're sliding to that little pentatonic pattern. It's the 5th. Then the flat 7. Taking care to mute. I'm using this sort of floating thumb technique here. A little bit of ghost notes here. Then leading from that sort of flat 7 back to the A again. Next we've got Little Green Bag, which is in G minor. Now if you need to change key, this happens. This is the case in any scale. But since we're talking about minor pentatonic, I've just been doing everything in A minor. Little Green Bag is in G minor. G is 2 frets down from A minor this way. So it's the same patterns. It's the same distances or intervals between each note. So you actually only have to really learn a couple of things, and it's just a case of shifting to where you need to be. I'll put a link to A minor in all the different positions. And once you learn that, like I say, you just shift it across. So we're starting on the octave this time. Now, there's that flat third. I'm playing it in a different way in this position. You've got that shape if you start on the 3rd fret of the E string. So this is as much an ear training exercise as anything, because I'm not giving you the tab for this. Provided you know the notes, you now have a real fighting chance of being able to listen to that song and work it out. You know the key, G minor, you know the shapes. So now you just need to listen to it and press pause every now and again, figure out the order of the notes, and there you go. So G, F, G, B flat, G, F, G. G, F, C, D. Start on the D. Playing it all closed, meaning no open strings. So D, C, D, F, D, C, D. F, G, B flat, G. You really start to learn the sound of the scale the more that you do. Let's move on. White Knuckle Ride. I love this bass line. This is a Jamiroquai bass line. This is in C minor. So far I've had my root on the E string. Now I'm putting the lowest note onto the 3rd fret of the A string. So this time it's brilliant. This time we're going up the scale across one string, and it goes really nice punchy short notes. That's a real plucking hand thing there. Really keep it tight there. And then we've got octaves, lovely octaves. We've got 2 notes this way, 2 frets this way, 2 strings this way. So we're sliding to that perfect 4th. Really helps to know the scale that way as well as that way. Okay, so you can come up with your own thing. Come up with your own thing that's a little similar to whatever the riff is that we're doing. I'm just literally randomly making up some octave stuff, just going across this way. But back to the riff. So you slide up to this note here, the 4th. That's the F. Go to the E flat, back to the C. Now we're on the G. So you got this pattern here. And look, G, F, C, B flat. Just the first 3rd frets of the E and the A string. All strictly minor pentatonic. Little ghost note there. Let's move on. Freedom. This is in D minor. Let's drop D. Let's do this actually. That's drop D tuning. Okay, it's just where you put your E string down a tone to D. So we got the D. I'm playing it on the 5th fret of the A string, and then going to that open string D. Then playing fret 3 and 5. Then the C on the 3rd fret A string. Back to 5, 3, 5, 3. Then an open D. Now this note here is now an F. Everything's up 2 frets from what you would think it is, okay? Because we've dropped the tuning down a whole step. Just those notes, okay? So I'll leave you to figure that one out. I'm going to use a harmonics trick to tune back up to the E. Both those notes are the same. So when it stops waving around, you're in tune. So I'm back into standard tuning. We've got Freak Out. So rather than hanging around in this sort of shape, so we're going down a little bit. So it's A, and I'm playing this on the 5th fret of the E string. A, and then open E, and then G, 3rd fret. Very precise plucking going on here. And as ever, if you want to get something fast, just slow it right down, a bit like this. A, E, G, A, and then C. Then A, G, A. D on the 5th fret A string, 2 of them. E, G, A. 2 Cs. And E, G. So the whole thing. Many of these bass lines are just repeating hooks, repeating patterns that the listener's ear can just grab onto. Billie Jean, very famous bass line. Here's a little trick, a little tip for you. Let's say you've figured out those notes. It's F sharp, C sharp, because it's in the key of F sharp, minor pentatonic. Let's just say you're going F sharp, C sharp, E, F sharp. Those are all the notes. And then the next bit is E, C sharp, B, C sharp, right? What I like to do when I've got the track going in the background, I've figured out like a little bit of the puzzle. And you've got to know the scale to do this really quickly, but I just fill it out and just play along with that scale. And if it fits, then that's the key I'm in. It's actually F sharp natural minor. If you take the second and sixth notes out of that scale, you're left with the F sharp minor pentatonic scale. So that's all it is. Not using all the notes of the minor pentatonic scale. You don't have to. It's just using the fourth, the fifth, the flat seven, and the octave. You've got a brilliant riff there. Demolition Man, a brilliant sting riff. We're back into the key of A minor pentatonic here. This is how I'm playing it. So you've got your... back to your standard shape that we know and love. So it's E, G, A. E on the 7th fret A string, G and A on the 5th and 7th frets of the D string respectively. So it does that. Going to the C on the 5th fret of the G string, and then that again. A, C, D, A. Just a lovely repeating pattern that just goes round and round and round. Brilliant one, I love that one. Ladies' Night, C sharp minor. We're just walking up the scale, couldn't be simpler. Root, flat third, 4th to 5th. Keep your fingers hovering over the next note that you need. I'm choosing to anchor my thumb on the E string just to mute things, have no unwanted noises going. Okay, Detroit. We're now in G minor, and you see what I'm doing? It's the same scale. I'm just moving it to whatever key I need. Now we've got some slap going on here. So we've got octave to the root, pop, thumb. And I'm just shifting to get to the B flat, which is the flat third. Then the C. Slide from the C to the D, 3rd to 5th fret. All with thumb. Then we've got a pop on the F, 3rd fret of the D string, so. He does a few little intricacies. You might want to just listen to the original, I think he does another pop actually. Then we got the flat third. Shift up to the 4th. And I'm sometimes thinking of these notes in terms of the actual note name, and I'm sometimes thinking in terms of the interval position, flat third, 4th. Doesn't matter which way you do it. The sound is what you need to get into your head. There's a little pop after the C. And then there's a hammer on C to D with one thumb. And F, G. Same thing again. And there goes. So 2 hammer-ons this time. C to D, and then F to G. Followed by a pop. Do that really slowly. And then repeat it. And returns to the G with a classic funk technique of a shake. Okay, that's that one. Low rider. I love this. This is such a cool bass line. So a little bit of a shift there, but F, G, B flat, C. In the key of G minor again. And then a shift. D, F. See how it's just the same notes again. F, G, B flat, C. That's how I'm choosing to play it. Just ascending the scale from an F. After the D, there's an F, and then D, F, D, F, G. Once you get to the G, you can shift back down again. If you want to play any of those 5th fret notes open, do so. I like the control that a closed position gives you. A closed position is where you don't have any open strings. Okay, last one, rhythm stick, F minor this time. Same thing, just going down to an F on the 1st fret. So there's a little low F, then a high one. Octave, and just come down the scale. This is a lot of crossing strings. It's a lot of sort of fast 16th note stuff. So again, slow things down. And then C, B flat, and then descend the whole scale slowly. Then it repeats it again. C, E flat, F, A flat. Which is also that little bit in Got to Be Real, isn't it? Which brings me to my final point. You're going to hear this scale in loads of different styles, in lots of different bass lines that you want to know. Now, I hope what that video has done for you is shown you that actually lots and lots of different cool bass lines are using the same, exactly the same notes. I've got loads of other lessons planned like this that are going to show you how to play some cool riffs just for the sake of it, but relate it to some idea or two. Okay, today was the minor pentatonic scale. So if you're interested in this kind of thing, it's going to really help your ear. It's going to help you memorize songs. It's going to help you add lots more riffs to your repertoire, riffs and bass lines. If you're interested in that, please subscribe to the channel. Put a comment below on your favorite pentatonic bass line, minor pentatonic bass line. It may be that something that you know adheres to this scale, and it will do, because it's amazing and it's used loads of times. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.